So the plan at the moment is basically to grow the working population until we make enough money to pay the bills. The obvious problem is that increasing the population inevitably increases demand on areas that are already stretched: housing, healthcare, infrastructure. It doesn't really matter how many people we cram in if the balance of income, expenditure and efficiency isn't addressed. The problem remains the same or gets worse. The current plan is essentially dishonest, and because there's no way to hold government to account, it will carry on that way unless the public demand change. Beyond this problem, it's clear that our economy is probably over 50% dependent on jobs that are significantly at risk from AI. Of course, nobody really knows how that's going to pan out, but it's reasonable to suggest that diversification of the economy is probably the only real safety net. And of course, we've been talking about diversification of the economy for a long time with virtually nothing to show for it. The Isle of Man should be in a great position to foster small-scale specialist innovation and manufacturing. Our small size should be working in our favour. It should be possible to do things here you could never do in larger jurisdictions, but support for business is acknowledged to be disorganised at best. Provision for apprenticeships and training is pitiful and failing. Too much attention has been paid to headline funding to make it look like we're doing something, but innovation is not driven by buckets of cash, quite the opposite. We need to significantly improve our responsiveness to rapidly changing regulatory requirements and get serious about education, apprenticeships, niche research, development and production sectors, and business support that works. We can provide innovators with the environment required to develop ideas without allowing people who have no skin in the game to gamble public money. Economic policy is currently calling the shots when it comes to housing and planning policy. And unless that issue is brought under control, it'll continue to have the final say over what gets built and where. In the short term, we need to focus on immediate problems. If people can't get on the housing ladder, then we're rotting from the bottom up. Empty brownfield sites and a vacancy rate of 10% should be on top of the list. We need careful management of multiple and non-resident ownership. We need to do more to assist young people to buy, including older properties, and apply economic pressure to promote the type of development we actually need. That type of approach requires the kind of joined-up thinking our system of government is proven to be incapable of. The basic concept of things like the Manx Development Corporation is admirable. It should be possible for government to underwrite well-designed, efficient, well-placed and connected affordable housing. But again, as with the situation in healthcare, it's simply the structure of government behind it which has doomed it to perceived failure. Unless we change that system, things are going to carry on as they were before.